Chapter 21 I'll Go With You. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 3 days later, Yi Luyun took a Gu Yuan Dan and cultivated the true energy seeds from all the 18 acupoints in the first vein, then according to the requirements of the Shenyuan Qi refining technique, used the true energy to open up all these acupoints, then shatter the entire meridians and repair them again. This process is easy to say, but the pain involved in breaking the meridians and then repairing them is almost unbearable by ordinary people. Fortunately, he has the foundation of an immortal hegemonic body, and the order of all gods is in his sea of consciousness, which keeps him awake and prevents him from passing out from pain. Therefore, the whole process can be regarded as a near miss and successfully completed. Feeling the breadth and tenacity of the new meridians, and looking inside to see the true energy rushing through them, he suddenly felt a little hopeful, wanting to see what would happen when all 9 meridians were rebuilt. In one meridian alone, he could already feel that the speed of the true energy flowing in this meridian was at least 3 times faster than in other meridians. In the past few days, his soul has been able to explore a range of 100 meters. The spirit responsible for the attack also became much tougher. Various newly learned exercises have also reached a small level of success. This is all thanks to the metal puppet, which can not only train him, but also give him guidance. The elixirs are also fully prepared. He also used the space nest wood to refine a gourd specially designed to hold liquids. Everything is ready to go, so he bid farewell to Feng Wanru and went to Wanbao Pavilion first. In addition to selling the Xianxia solid yuan dan that he had refined in the past few days, he also wanted to buy a map and a bow and arrow. When you get there, you need to hunt ferocious beasts. It will definitely be much safer to have a long-range attack weapon. Among the 100 solid yuan pills that Yi Luyun refined this time, there were 48 of the best yellow-level pills, and only 6 of the top-grade yellow ones. The remaining 46 pills that were not sold to her were naturally low-grade Xian-level elixirs. Liang Shui collected the elixir and was lamenting the improvement of his alchemy skills. Suddenly, he heard that Yi Luyun wanted to buy a map and a bow and arrow, and he became curious. Yi Luyun didn't hide anything and told his intention. Liang Shui's eyes widened in shock. Do you know how dangerous the Henglin Mountains are? It's a no-nonsense zone, so robbers are rampant, and the mercenaries are also desperados. Not to mention the ferocious beasts inside. If you need medicinal materials, I will help you prepare them. It's just the goods, there's no need to take risks. The Henglin mountain range is a Henduan mountain range that blocks Fengyang City from communicating with the outside world. Most people from the outside world who come to Fengyang City would rather spend more time on the detour than cross the mountains and encounter those robbers, mercenaries and ferocious beasts. Yi Luyun said nonchalantly, isn't that just an opportunity to practice? I won't go if there is no chaos. Martial arts practice is inherently dangerous. Only real fighting can make me grow faster. Now the Yi family has no opponent for him. If he wants to improve his strength as soon as possible, bloody fighting is undoubtedly the best way. Yi Luyun's real purpose of going to the Henglin Mountains this time was actually to explore a way for him to venture out in the future. He has always been interested in the outside world and is destined not to stay in the Yi family for the rest of his life. Especially after he won the first place in the inner palace this time, he couldn't wait any longer. Liang Shui saw that Yi Luyun had already made up his mind to go to the Henglin Mountains, so he stopped trying to dissuade him. Let Yuer take him to buy maps and bows and arrows. When Yi Luyun finished shopping and came out, Liang Shui was already waiting in front of the door with 2 horses, and she also changed into a black tights. This tight suit completely exposed his figure and made her skin fairer. It's really surprising. Yi Luyun swallowed his saliva. Does it look good? Liang Shui deliberately came closer and almost pressed against him. Yi Luyun's face immediately turned red and he backed away. Liang Shui giggled at his embarrassment. She found that teasing this ignorant boy was quite fun. What are you doing? Yi Luyun was a little curious about her outfit. I'll go with you. Liang Shui said directly. In fact, she didn't know what was wrong with her, but she actually took the initiative to accompany a man out. Maybe I am also enjoying myself in this small town. Yi Luyun didn't think too much. Liang Shui's realm is higher than him, so he doesn't need to worry. And it won't be too boring if you have someone to keep you company along the way, so he readily agreed, mounted his horse with Xianxia, and drove out of Fengyang City side by side. You are so thoughtful. Having a mount will save a lot of time and energy. Yi Luyun praised. Although it was his first time riding a horse, he quickly adapted to it. You still have the nerve to say that? You haven't prepared anything, so you're going to take risks. Liang Shui replied to him angrily. It turned out that they were a little hungry when they rested halfway. But Yi Luyun didn't prepare anything to eat at all. Because Liang Shui left in a hurry, she didn't bring anything to eat, so the two of them had to leave hungry. Hey! There is a small town not far ahead. Let's go eat something and take a break. Yi Luyun looked at the map, then turned the horse's head and drove sideways. Liang Shui didn't think much and followed him over, but they ran for a long time, half the time than expected, before they reached a small town. When I got there, I saw that it was not the town marked on the map. Yi Luyun also complained that the maps sold by Wanbao Pavilion were inaccurate, but since I was already here, I had to find a tavern to fill my stomach. Yi Luyun learned a lot from the loss. After eating, he packed a lot of food to take away. Before Liang Shui left, she casually asked her boss about the route, and then she realized that Yi Luyun had taken him the wrong way. Liang Shui glared at Yi Luyun fiercely and snatched the map. You are a road idiot. Why didn't you tell me earlier that you can't read a map? I will lead the way and you follow me. Yi Luyun was too guilty to argue and had to follow Liang Shui obediently. Just after Yi Luyun and Liang Shui left the city, in the city lord's mansion of Fengyang City, the Lord Qin Yuan was chatting with a white-haired old man about the competition between the Yi family and the Mo family. The white-haired old man said respectfully, the eldest elder of the Yi family has been abolished, and the power we have cultivated in the Yi family has become much weaker. It will be even more troublesome to take action against the Yi family again. Qin Yuan's face was gloomy. This waste can't even beat a junior. Does that Yi Luyun really have such great potential? Is it worth it for their clan leader to take action against the eldest elder? That's right. The younger generation of the Yi family originally had Yi Tianxi, and with this Yi Luyun, I'm afraid that our ranking will fall behind in the martial arts competition in a month. The white-haired old man said with some regret. The strength competition of the three major families is mainly based on the strength of the younger generation. Because they represent the future, Qin Xian, the daughter of the city lord, used to be able to get the third place. If they can't even keep the third place this time, they will be considered to be in decline, and their status and power will naturally be affected. Qin Yuan certainly knew this, but he could do nothing about it. These young people usually stay in the family, and are watched closely by the old guys, so they have no chance to attack at all. City Lord, there is a great opportunity right now. That Yi Luyun took the young master of Wanbao Pavilion, Liang Shui, to Henlin Mountains. If both of them died outside, the Yi family would not only lose a talented young man, but also have to bear the anger of Wanbao Pavilion. I am afraid there will be no chance to turn over. At that time, only the Mo family will be left, and it will be difficult to make a difference alone. Qin Yuan's eyes became brighter and brighter when he heard this. Just as you said, find some guards. Don't leave any clues for the people of Wanbao Pavilion to find out. Yes. The white-haired old man bowed and retreated. Yi Luyun never thought that he would be involved in the family struggle. Liang Shui would never have thought that someone would dare to take advantage of her in a small place like Fengyang City. However, they took the wrong road and managed to avoid the guards who were chasing them. Instead, they walked behind the guards. Chapter 22 Thunder Beast Core. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Luyun went out for the first time, and he was not in a hurry to get going. //NCOM he held the Wukong stone in his hand all the way, feeling the power of space. When he stopped to rest on the way, he would practice for a while. Liang Shui also rarely came out to relax. And Yi Luyun had no scheming towards him, so she felt particularly good to be with Yi Luyun. Along the way, Yi Luyun often made some ridiculous mistakes because he had no experience of going out, which made her feel very cute. Yi Luyun had a good mentality. Xianxia talked about him, but he was not angry. He also took special care of her and gave in to her in everything. Xianxia felt that she was spoiled, which was something she could not feel in Wanbao Pavilion. For a while, she was a little reluctant to go back to Wanbao Pavilion. It was originally a 2-day journey, but they walked for 5 days before they arrived at Henglin Mountains. As soon as they entered the mountains, the tall trees blocked the sun, and the atmosphere suddenly became gloomy. The roars of beasts from afar also made them tense. After all, in such a dangerous place, one could lose one's life if one is not careful. The two of them stopped talking and laughing, but walked forward cautiously with weapons in hand. Although Yi Liuyan's realm was not as high as Xianxia's, he still released his spiritual sense and explored the way ahead, showing the responsibility that a man should have. Xianxia looked at his back and couldn't help but feel a warm feeling in her heart. Feeling much safer, 2 days later, they crossed the outer perimeter of the Henglin Mountains and continued to move deeper. At this time, Yi Liuyan's clothes were already tattered. In the past 2 days, he had been fighting constantly. He encountered many fierce beasts below the 9th level of body refining, and he solved them all. Xianxia had no chance to take action at all, but just watched from the side. But Yi Liuyan's progress surprised Xianxia secretly. It only took 2 days for Yi Liuyan's Linkong Ju, Ba Dao Ju, Ben Lei Quan, and Zhai Xinghan to reach the level of Deshang from the level of less than Xiaocheng, and his soul and true qi cultivation did not fall behind in the past 2 days. When he was not fighting, he would walk and eat the condensing spirit pill. His consciousness was now open and could detect the surrounding area of 200 meters. This was a dense forest, and his vision was blocked and he could not see far. He needed to use his consciousness to detect the environment at all times. For the soul, it was also a kind of intensive training. Under this kind of high-intensity training, the soul improved very quickly. When he was resting, he practiced true qi. Before entering the depths of the Henglin Mountains, Yi Liuyan took another Guyuan pill and opened up a second meridian. The true qi in his body circulated more smoothly and quickly. Xianxia felt that his realm had reached the peak of the 6th level of physical training. From the 6th level to the 7th level of physical training, it is usually a big hurdle from the middle to the late stage of physical training. Many people need to accumulate for at least a year to break through. And she looked at Yi Liuyan's posture. It seemed that he would break through soon. And Yi Liuyan's combat power also surprised her. If he was not honing his combat skills, the beasts below the 9th level of physical training would not survive a single encounter in his hands. Anyone who can fight across 2 realms is a genius among geniuses. Moreover, he has cultivated his spiritual consciousness, but she felt that Yi Liuyan could at least fight across 3 realms. She had seen many geniuses before, but Yi Liuyan should be considered a super genius. Not only was it as easy to improve his realm as eating and drinking, but he also learned things very quickly. Yi Liuyan's comprehension and analytical abilities were also far beyond ordinary people. As they gradually went deeper, the fierce beasts they encountered now were basically at the 9th level of body refining, but Yi Liuyan could still deal with it alone. As they walked, Yi Liuyan suddenly looked solemn. He put away his knife and took out his bow and arrow. Xianxia also felt that many trees in this dense forest seemed to have been struck by lightning. Obviously, the fierce beasts in this area have lightning attributes. Xianxia was about to ask aloud, but Yi Liuyan made a gesture to silence him, which made him even more curious. This bow is called Bingyue. It does not require a physical arrow, but uses the true qi to condense into an arrow. Moreover, the arrow shot out had the attribute of ice. He crouched down, moved forward a few steps, and then suddenly raised his hand and shot at the crown of a big tree in the distance. Ah! A scream came, and a man in black fell from the tree. Not far away, a black cheetah in the 1st level of Zhenyuan was startled by the sudden cry. But then he reacted and ran towards the cry. The man in black was only shot in the abdomen, which was not fatal. He pulled out the arrow and was about to rush towards Yi Liuyan, but was startled by the sound of the Black Panther running. He had no choice but to pull out a dagger and fight with the Black Panther first. Xianxia could see clearly that the man in black was originally in the 3rd level of Zhenyuan, but he was injured at this moment, and he needed to use his true energy to resist the cold in his abdomen. So facing the Black Panther, he could only barely hold on, and the Black Panther could actually spray lightning from its mouth to attack. Every time he was hit by lightning, the man in black felt numb all over and reacted half a beat slower. After a few rounds, the panther tore off one of his arms. He knew that the situation was hopeless, so he released a magic talisman that exploded in the air like fireworks. It was obviously a call to his companions. Then he was knocked to the ground by the panther's claws, and then bit his neck fiercely. The man in black kicked his legs twice and stopped moving. The Black Panther obviously realized that the man in black had died, and just as he was about to let go, Yi Luyan shot another arrow, hitting it in the hind leg. "Don't let this Black Panther escape." Yi Luyan called Xianxia for help, and at the same time shot out another arrow, but this time the Black Panther discovered his position, sprayed out a breath of thunder and lightning to knock down the arrow, and rushed towards Yi Luyan viciously. Yi Luyan hurriedly put away his bow and arrows and faced the Black Panther with a knife. Xianxia also helped this time. She knew that the Black Panther was at the first level of true energy, and she was afraid that Yi Luyan would not be a match for it. The Black Panther was besieged by the two of them, and felt that Xianxia's realm was higher than it, so he wanted to escape immediately. So it pounced on Yi Luyan faster, trying to force Yi Luyan back to give it room to escape. Unexpectedly, Yi Luyan was desperate, not giving up a step, and used the Kaitian move in the Overlord Sword technique to fight with the thunder and lightning sprayed by the Black Panther. He suddenly stood there numbly. The Black Panther was also slashed by him, and rolled to the ground with a bloody head. Xianxia was struck in the neck again with a sword and his head was cut off. "You're crazy." Xianxia killed Black Panther and then came over to complain about Yi Luyan. "What hatred does this Black Panther have against you? Why are you so desperate to fight against it?" That at this time, Yi Luyan was still numb all over from being struck by lightning. "Beast core. Hurry, get it," he said vaguely and asked Xianxia to help him get the core. Xianxia took the animal core and put away the Black Panther's body. Yi Luyan had almost recovered at this time and took the beast core and put it away. After a while, Yi Luyan completely recovered. "Look at the man in black." He and Xianxia came to the man in black and checked. "How did you find him?" Xianxia asked curiously. "Relying on spiritual consciousness. He has murderous intentions towards us." Yi Luyan explained simply. "Start searching the man in black," but except for the dagger, he found nothing. "Professional killer." Xianxia exclaimed, seeing Yi Luyan's questioning look. She explained, "Only professional killers can be so clean and carry nothing to prove their identity." Only then did Yi Luyan understand. The fireworks this guy set off just now were a signal to summon his accomplices. "Let's change the direction and don't get targeted by them," Xianxia suggested. Chapter 23 Ambush Killer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Luyan played with the man in black's dagger in his hand and asked, "If we change the direction, they won't be able to find us." Xianxia was also startled when she heard this, and said, "I can definitely find it, but not so fast." Yi Luyan showed an intriguing smile on his face and said, "How about we wait for them here and wait for them once and for all? We can also ambush them. Are you sure these killers are coming to us? I think it's better not to cause trouble. There may be masters among them," Xianxia advised. "I am sure that the killer only released his murderous intent after seeing us. And there is no one else here. It is obvious that he is waiting for us. Rather than being chased by them, it is better to kill the two of them first." Yi Luyan was determined. Said, finally Xianxia agreed. They dug a cave not far away, blocked most of the cave entrance with soil, and observed the situation outside from the inside out. Yi Luyan took out the ice moon bow and carved an inscription on the bow and arrow. "What are you doing?" Xianxia asked softly. "I will carve an inscription on this bow and arrow that can be locked with my spiritual consciousness. In this way, if I shoot arrows in the future, as long as they are locked by my spiritual consciousness, I can hit the enemy without aiming, and the arrow's range will be further," Yi Luyan said. She explained. "You know these divine patterns? Then you are not a master of weapon refining?" Xianxia was a little surprised. Yi Luyan smiled and shook his head and said no more. In fact, he just copied the inscriptions in his mind. He didn't understand the principle, but it doesn't delay these inscriptions from achieving the functions he wants. Soon, the bow and arrows were modified and he put them away. Then he also asked Xianxia, I feel that your soul is not weak. Didn't you find the man in black before? Xianxia replied, there are many directions for a soul master. What I cultivate is just the basic soul, and I haven't chosen a direction yet. Soul master? Yi Luyun asked in confusion. Soul master, like alchemist, formation master, weapon refiner, etc., is also a profession. He can control beasts, puppets, ghosts, zombies, etc. to fight. Xianxia explained. Oh. I've never heard of it before. Yi Luyun heard for the first time that there was such a profession. Xianxia told him, that's because there are too few people cultivating the soul, and they are relatively partial. Moreover, the difficulty of cultivating is also very difficult, which has a lot to do with talent. Yi Luyun nodded and took out the beast core he had just obtained without asking any more questions. Xianxia asked him curiously, why do you want this beast core so desperately? Yi Luyun smiled mysteriously. Practice, I will extract the power of thunder and lightning from here. Pay attention to the situation outside, while I practice for a while. Therefore, Yi Luyun followed the techniques in Xianxia refining technique and began to extract the thunder and lightning power from the beast core. Normal people cannot draw any power directly from the beast core. The main purpose of the beast core is to refine weapons, increase the properties of various weapons, or to refine elixirs. However, Yi Luyun's Xianxia refining technique can absorb all kinds of energy. Of course, it also includes animal cores. Fortunately, Xianxia didn't ask any more questions. After all, everyone has their own secrets. But Xianxia felt in her heart that Yi Luyun was becoming more and more mysterious, as if he was omnipotent. My luck is so good. I was able to find the power of thunder and lightning. Even if I go back now, this trip to the Honglin Mountains will not be in vain. Once he absorbs the power of thunder and lightning, the thunder fist he practices can exert its full power. Soon, Yi Luyun absorbed the power of thunder and lightning contained in the beast core and integrated it into his own true energy. At the same time, he also discovered that he could also absorb other powers in the beast's core and convert them into his own true energy. The beast core is the entire essence of ferocious beast cultivation and contains huge energy. Yi Luyun's discovery almost made him jump with joy, but he didn't say anything. After being secretly happy for a while, he went to replace Xianxia. Does your Wanbao pavilion sell animal cores? Yi Luyun asked Xianxia softly while observing the situation outside. Of course. What do you want to do? Xianxia asked. Remember to prepare some for me when you go back. It is best to have thunder and lightning attributes, and the higher the realm, the better. In addition, I want thunder and lightning attribute ores or rare materials, medicinal materials, etc. Yi Luyun said. Xianxia naturally agreed. Not long after, Yi Luyun's consciousness felt someone approaching. He hurriedly used his soul to shield his aura. Xianxia also tried her best to shield her aura to avoid being discovered. Yi Luyun saw that the visitor was also wearing black clothes and was at the second level of true energy. Where did so many powerful people in the true Yuan realm come from? He secretly wondered in his heart. Visitors are also very careful. First, he looked around, and then slowly approached the body of his companion on the ground. Yi Luyun had already locked onto this man with his spiritual consciousness, but he did not rush to take action, but waited patiently for him to relax his vigilance. The man carefully inspected the body and found that it had been bitten to death by a ferocious beast, and gradually relaxed. Start looking for traces of ferocious beasts everywhere. Yi Luyun waited until a big tree blocked the distance between them, then shot it with an arrow. Since the bow and arrow have the function of divine consciousness locking added to it, the bow and arrow can automatically change its route even if it is not a straight line. There was a pop sound. The arrow hit the man in the back. Although it is not fatal, it is enough to weaken his combat effectiveness. Yi Luyun shot another arrow, then jumped out of the cave and ran towards the man in black to kill him. Xianxia also came out and killed the man in black from another direction. At this time, Yi Luyun's second arrow shot from another direction, hitting the man in black's right arm. Yi Luyun also rushed over instantly. With a punch carrying the power of thunder and lightning, hitting him like thunder. The man in black hurriedly punched back, but was struck numb by the power of thunder and lightning. Xianxia, who was rushed over, stabbed her heart with an arrow and fell down softly. Oh! Why did you kill him? You didn't even ask any questions. Yi Luyun felt a little regretful. Huh. I didn't think so much. If you want to be arrested alive, you should have told me earlier, that even though Xianxia was usually smart, her reaction to war was not as quick as Yi Luyun's. When Yi Luyun saw that the man in black was numb after being hit by the power of lightning, he thought of the chance to capture him alive, but the opportunity was wasted by Xianxia, and there was nothing he could do. The man in black only had a signal talisman and a dagger on him, and nothing else. Yi Luyun put the body of the man in black directly into the storage ring, and returned to the cave with Xianxia to wait. After waiting for a while, Yi Luyun turned around and whispered in Xianxia's ear, "Here he comes." Xianxia blushed due to the hot air in her ears. Yi Luyun couldn't care less about observing her at the moment. His consciousness had completely outlined the figure of the man and the surrounding terrain, just like last time. After his man carefully checked the wound and confirmed that it was bitten to death by a ferocious beast, Yi Luyun took the opportunity to shoot the arrow. The man's reaction was not slow. Although he couldn't see it, he heard the sound of the bowstring and immediately started to avoid it. It's a pity that he didn't know that the arrow was locked through spiritual consciousness. No matter how he tried to dodge, the arrow would hit him. Yi Luyun shot 3 arrows in a row. In the darkness, the man had no way to dodge, and all 3 arrows hit, but even though he was seriously injured, he still sent out a signal. By the time Yi Luyun and Xianxia arrived, it was already too late to stop him. Chapter 24 Inexplicable. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Luyun went up to ask about the origin, but the man in black was very stubborn and would rather die than tell him. 520 official website. Yi Luyun chuckled. Use your hands to break his limbs. Still haven't said it yet? He took out the dagger again and cut into the flesh one by one. Xianxia felt horrified just looking at it and stayed away from him. In the end, the man couldn't bear it anymore and just wanted to die happily. Please, give me a happy death. Tell me your origins and I will promise you. Yi Luyun's cold voice contained no emotion at all. We are the guards of the City Lord's mansion. The man finally said it. City Lord's mansion? Why do you want to kill me? Yi Luyun didn't believe it. I'm not just going to kill you, I'm going to kill both of you. I don't know the reason. I'm just following the order. The man replied. Yi Luyun looked up at Xianxia in confusion, and found that Xianxia also had doubts in her eyes. Both of them were baffled, so he continued to ask, how many of you have come, and what realms are they in? 6 are here. 4 are at the 2nd level of True Yuan, and 2 are at the 3rd level of True Yuan. I have told you everything I know. Please give me a good time. The man begged again. Yi Luyun didn't hesitate, just broke his neck and put the body into the storage ring. Then he turned around and collected the bodies on the ground. Change a place. This person has already sent a signal. We can't always ambush in one place, it will be easy to be discovered. Xianxia also agreed to his proposal, so the two of them took advantage of the darkness and walked towards the dense forest on the left. As the two walked, they also studied why the City Lord's mansion sent a killer to hunt them down. I have never offended the City Lord's mansion. They didn't come to kill you, so they took me with them, right? Yi Luyun thought for a while and asked. I don't understand either. I have never offended them. They killed you probably because you are the number 1 in the Yi family. But why did they kill me too? Xianxia was also confused. They hadn't walked long before 3 black figures appeared in the dense forest. Everyone is gone. I don't know whether they are dead or alive, one of them said. 2 signal talismans, 2 people should have been discovered, and they are most likely dead. There should be one more person, I don't know where he is. Another one said. We may have been discovered by the target. We can't be separated anymore. We came from the front and the right. Chase to the left and have a look. Another man in black suggested, so the three of them chased in the direction of Yi Luyun and the others. Yi Luyun and Liang Shui didn't walk very fast. They didn't expect these people to catch up so quickly. And the direction of pursuit is so accurate. Oops, they're coming after me. Yi Luyun heard the movement for the first time, and quickly used his spiritual consciousness to lock on the guard of the second level of true essence, and then shot a few arrows. He quickly shot and wounded the guard who was left behind, then he picked up Liang Shui and ran away. He has the spiritual consciousness to find the way, and no matter how dark it is, it will not delay his escape. Moreover, his physical skills were not bad, and he quickly got rid of the tracking of the two people behind him, but he still didn't stop. After running all night, the two of them stopped to take a breath until light appeared in the dense forest. They expected that we wouldn't dare to go deeper, so they kept chasing us sideways. How about we go deeper into the jungle, Yi Luyun suggested. Okay. Liang Shui agreed softly, but her face turned a little red. Yi Luyun thought she was a little strange. What's wrong with you? Yi Luyun continued to pull Liang Shui to change direction. It's dawn. Liang Shui said softly. Yes. We have to move quickly to avoid being discovered by them. Yi Luyun said and quickened his pace. Let me go, we can go faster. Liang Shui's voice became softer, only then did Yi Luyun realize that he had been holding Liang Shui's hand. No wonder she just said it was dawn. It turned out to be a reminder to myself that it was time to let go. Ah. I'm sorry. I forgot about it when I was nervous. Yi Luyun hurriedly let go of his hand and apologized to Liang Shui. Let's go, now is not the time to pay attention to these things. Liang Shui also said with a blushing face, so the two of them continued walking deeper into the mountains, changing directions many times and often jumping on trees to walk, but they never got too far away from the pursuers behind them. It has to be said that the tracking abilities of these guards are still very strong. Moreover, Liang Shui was also at the third level of true essence, but she was not confident about fighting against anyone. So facing two guards, they had no hope of defeating them. It's a pity that you are at the third level of true energy, and you can't even deal with one guard. If I were at this level, I could take care of both of them together. In order to make Liang Shui relax, Yi Luyun also joked with her. I only have a high level and don't have many actual combats. How can I be so cruel like you when extorting a confession? It seems that you often do this kind of thing. Liang Shui asked rhetorically. I learned this trick when my aunt told me stories. And he is going to kill me, so I still need to be polite to him. Yi Luyun retorted. Liang Shui also felt that it made sense. She is not an uncivilized person either. She was about to speak again, but was suddenly stopped by Yi Luyun with a gesture. Did you hear that? The sound of running water. Liang Shui listened carefully, but heard nothing, with a look of doubt on her face. Just come with me. Yi Luyun took the lead and walked over. Liang Shui had already seen how powerful Yi Luyun's consciousness was, so she believed in him and followed him directly. Not far away, Liang Shui also heard the sound of water flowing. They followed the sound of water and found a mountain stream. Water flows down from the mountain, forming a small waterfall, and at the bottom of the mountain stream is a pool. In the open space next to the pool, there is a fruit tree with several golden fruits hanging on it, and some rare medicinal materials growing nearby. Bloodline grass. I finally found you. Yi Luyun's consciousness swept away and he discovered the golden bloodline grass, which was very conspicuous, but Liang Shui didn't pay attention to those medicinal materials. They had been in the mountains for a few days and were still being chased. Sweat stains all over. Of course it was very uncomfortable for a rich lady like her. Now that she saw the water, the first thing she thought of was to go down and take a bath. Let's go down and take a bath. Liang Shui suggested softly, a little embarrassed, but he saw Yi Luyun looking at her like a monster. She reacted immediately and hurriedly explained, they are not washed together, but washed separately. Don't misunderstand. Did you see those medicinal materials below? Every one of them is very rare. Do you think there will be no vicious beasts guarding this place? Yi Luyun didn't pay attention to Liang Shui's slip of the tongue. but instead released his consciousness to look for the vicious beast. But why didn't the ferocious beast appear? Liang Shui also felt that what Yi Luyun said made sense. But according to past experience, if there is a ferocious beast, as soon as they get close, the ferocious beast will rush to block them. Yi Luyun smiled slightly and said, "That's because the ferocious beast is under this pool. It knows that we can't get through and can't pick its medicinal materials. And there is another group of people who are interested in this medicinal material." Yi Luyun's soul grew rapidly after entering the Henglin Mountains and using it intensively every day. It can now detect almost 300 meters. This whole space was covered. He found a black python with the 4th level of true energy under the pool. At the foot of the mountain stream, there were 7 or 8 other people who were eyeing those medicinal materials. And the realm is like the 2nd or 3rd level of true essence. But there was a cliff between them, so the group probably didn't notice him. That black python was actually spying on the group of people. And it may not be able to defeat them, so I have been waiting and watching. Chapter 25 Taming the Black Python. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After Yi Luyun locked onto the black python with his spiritual sense, he signaled Liang Shui to retreat with him. The black python saw them retreating and stopped paying attention. After all, the two of them were not a threat to the black python. They went around behind the group and shot an arrow at the pool. After shooting, they immediately took Liang Shui to run towards the direction of the medicinal materials. The black python was watching the group in the pool, and suddenly an arrow shot at him from that direction. It thought that the group had started to attack it, so it used its tail to pull the arrow away, suddenly jumped out of the water, and rushed towards the group. The group was numerous and powerful, and did not run away, and fought with the black python. Yi Luyun took Liang Shui to sneak towards the medicinal materials. The two groups fought very fiercely, and as soon as they fought, one of them was swallowed directly by the black python. The black python also took a few hits. But it was thick-skinned and did not lose immediately. Why don't we take the opportunity to steal the medicinal materials? Liang Shui asked quietly. It's not time yet. Keep waiting. As he said that, he and Liang Shui continued to lurk and watch them fight from a distance. Soon, the black python was surrounded by the crowd and was seriously injured. Even though it was at a high level, it couldn't stand being beaten by the crowd, but the group of people also paid a heavy price. One person was beaten to death, and another was swallowed by the black python. Both sides were really angry and killed each other. Seeing that they were almost done fighting, Yi Luyun said to Liang Shui, "You hide and don't move, I'll go steal the herbs." After saying that, he used the Lingkong Ju and flew over. First, he collected the blood grass, then other herbs, and then picked a few golden fruits on the tree. After picking the herbs, he and Liang Shui retreated immediately. But they didn't go too far, but changed their position and continued to watch the battle over there. At this time, the black python accidentally saw that the herbs were gone, and immediately let out a mournful cry and fought with those people. It was a complete exchange of injuries, killing one person and swallowing another. The remaining 3 people saw that the black python was fighting desperately, and they did not dare to fight anymore, and retreated immediately. At this time, the black python was constantly dripping blood from its mouth, and it slowly crawled back. Good opportunity. Seeing the state of the black python, Yi Luyun immediately pounced on the black python like an arrow. He had found a way to communicate with and control the fierce beast in the Great Evolution Soul technique. At this time, the black python was seriously injured, and it was a good opportunity to subdue it. If the black python was not injured, he really didn't dare to try directly. Yi Luyun directly rushed into the black python's sea of consciousness with a wisp of consciousness and communicated with it with consciousness. Submit to me, I will give you medicinal herbs for healing. The black python felt the information from the consciousness, and its eyes couldn't help but emit a ray of light. It was obviously curious that this human could communicate with it. Then Yi Luyun took out a golden fruit to tempt the black python. If you let me brand your soul, I'll give you this fruit. Your injury will heal soon. That the black python recognized that the fruit was its, but now it was threatened by a human. These people were obviously in the same group. They stole its things and wanted to enslave it. Its eyes immediately turned red and it roared. But it was seriously injured at the moment. and even the threat seemed so weak. I am not in the same group with them. I swear. Yi Luyun continued to communicate with the black python with his spiritual sense. Liang Shui followed behind Yi Luyun and saw him standing in front of the black python in a daze without saying a word. She was very puzzled. And the black python's mood was obviously changing constantly. Is he negotiating with the black python? Thinking of this, even she herself didn't believe it. Is he still a tamer? But what surprised her even more was that the black python actually lowered its head obediently in front of Yi Luyun. Yi Luyun put his hand on the black python's head. After a while, he took his hand away and fed the black python the golden fruit. Then he picked up the black python and put it back into the pool. You can tame animals? Liang Shui couldn't suppress her surprise and asked. I know a little bit. Let's rest here and wait until the black python is healed. You can take a bath now, the black python won't attack you. After that, Yi Luyun didn't say much. He took out the alchemy furnace and the fire control array plate and began to refine healing pills for the black python. He himself has the power of the immortal body and bloodline, so even if he is injured, he will recover quickly, so he didn't prepare healing pills. After he planted the soul mark on the black python, he communicated with the black python's soul. The black python told him that the golden fruit could probably restore him to the second level of true essence, but it couldn't be fully restored. Fortunately, he had a lot of medicinal materials on him, enough for him to refine healing pills. Liang Shui also had the opportunity to watch him refine pills in person this time. But she didn't expect that Yi Luyun's alchemy skills were so high, warming the fire, selecting materials, putting in, refining, making pills, and storing pills, all in one go. 10 pills were refined in one furnace, including 1 low-grade Xian level, 6 top-grade Huang level and 3 high-grade Huang level. I'm sorry to make you laugh. This is the first time I've refined a healing pill, and the effect is not very good. Yi Luyun said awkwardly. Liang Shui didn't know what to say. He was able to refine a Xian level pill the first time, and this guy is still embarrassed. Yi Luyun didn't pay attention to Liang Shui's expression, but summoned the black python and threw all 10 pills to it. Anyway, the black python was huge, so he was not afraid that it couldn't digest it. Yi Luyun also gave it a spirit condensing pill to help it increase the power of its soul. After the black python took the pill, it sank into the water again. After settling the black python, Yi Luyun took out a golden fruit and gave it to Liang Shui. After you take the fruit, you sink into the water to practice. Not only can you take a bath, but you can also avoid being tracked by guards. After saying that, he also took out a piece of fruit and ate it, and then sank into the water to practice. Those who practice martial arts can hold their breath and breathe through the movement of true energy. Although the effect of practicing underwater is not as good as on the ground, the good thing is that you can avoid being chased. It's good now. I really took a bath with him. Liang Shui cursed in her heart, then she also drank the fruit and sank into the water. This golden fruit is very energetic. Yi Luyun immediately transformed the energy into true energy and guided the true energy to gather into the acupuncture points of the third meridian. An hour later, all the qi seeds in the acupoints were formed. Yi Luyun began to reshape his meridians again. After the meridians were rebuilt, he was not in a hurry to break through the realm, but tried his best to use the excess qi to more than double the qi sea. It wasn't until the sea of qi could no longer hold it that he took advantage of the situation and broke through to the 7th level of body refining. He is now much more powerful than an ordinary 7th level body refining person. He couldn't help but feel that the amount of true energy in the sea of energy doubled, and the number of true energy seeds in his body was also 100 times that of ordinary people. If the opponent really regards him as an ordinary 7th level body refining person, he is destined to be tricked to death. After Yi Luyun broke through, he used his spiritual consciousness to probe Liang Shui again and found that she was still digesting the golden fruit. During their training, the black-clad guards from the city lord's mansion came here to investigate, but because they were training underwater, they didn't find it. The black python also fell into a deep sleep, healing its wounds in its deep sleep. The black python said that it would take about 7 or 8 days to sleep before it could fully recover, but before going to bed, the black python passed the map of the nearby area to him through his spiritual consciousness, and also told him what treasures were there and what ferocious beasts there were. With this spiritual map, Yi Luyan felt like he knew the location himself and didn't have to worry about getting lost. He planned to go to several places to practice while the black python was recovering from his injuries. Chapter 26 Rescue. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Suddenly, Yi Luyan's consciousness discovered that among the people driven away by the black python, one man had returned. /NCOM The other man and woman who escaped at the same time were hiding somewhere. The man hid in the distance and looked around. After realizing that the black python and the medicinal materials were gone, he immediately retreated. These people all wore uniforms and looked like they were descendants of some big family. Yi Luyan became curious and wanted to follow them to see what they were doing here, so he surfaced, used his spiritual consciousness to lock onto the man, and followed him from a distance. Not far away, Yi Luyan found that this man had joined two other people. However, several people were injured, especially the woman, who was the most seriously injured and was still unconscious at this time. Just listen to the man say, "Brother Wuyo, the black python and the medicinal materials are gone. Damn it. Someone must have taken the opportunity to take away the medicinal materials." The senior brother named Wuyo cursed angrily. "Then what should we do?" the man asked. "Of course we found the thief who stole the medicinal materials. Get the medicinal materials back." Wuyo said. They also discovered now that someone must have shot the arrow deliberately to induce the black python to fight with them and then profit from it. "Where's the black python?" the man asked again. The black python was seriously injured and must have hid under the water to heal. "I have already informed the sect masters that someone will come to support us soon, and then we will kill the black python. Hurry up and search for the person who stole the medicinal materials. If they can't find you, don't come back." "Yes," the man said in agreement and searched in the distance. At this time, senior brother Wuyo looked at the woman lying on the ground with a look of lust on his face. "Humph, you bitch, how dare you reject me so many times? Let's see how you escape from my grasp this time. When the time comes, we'll see if you accept your fate." Although Yi Luyan was far away, he heard clearly. He didn't want to cause more trouble. But if something like this happened to him, he couldn't ignore it. Otherwise, he would not be able to cope with it, and it would leave his inner demons in his martial arts heart. He thought for a while and suddenly had a plan in mind. He retreated quietly, took off the clothes from the guard's body, put them on himself, took out the dagger, and returned again. At this time, Brother Wuyo was untying the woman's clothes, but the woman had been awakened, resisting and still cursing. "Jin Wuyo! You beast! How dare you do such a thing to me? When I go back, I will report it to Master and cut you into pieces." But Jin Wuyo laughed heartily. "You can just go ahead and file a lawsuit. Then the whole hospital will know about it, and I wonder if you still have the nerve to live." At the same time, he pressed on the woman, held her hands down, and was about to kiss her. The woman was seriously injured, and her hands were held down by him. She was unable to resist at all, and tears of humiliation flowed from her eyes. Yi Luyan took advantage of Jin Wuyo's triumphant moment to sneak behind him and thrust the dagger into him, but Jin Wuyo was at the third level of True Yuan after all, and he reacted quickly. When he noticed the strange noise behind him, he immediately slapped his hand back. Yi Luyan suddenly launched a spiritual attack. Ah! Jin Wuyo didn't expect to be attacked to his soul, so in a moment of distraction, he was stabbed. Yi Luyan raised his kick again and hit him in the sea of qi, completely destroying him. Yi Luyan did not kill Jin Wuyo, but deliberately used him to ask for help from his companions and let them hunt down the man in black. Then he picked up the woman on the ground and flew away. After running for a while, he took off his black clothes and put them away, then turned around and ran back to the pool. "Girl, don't worry, I won't harm you. Do you have any healing elixir on you?" Yi Luyan asked after returning. "Thank you. But I didn't bring any healing elixir," the woman replied warily. "Then just wait a moment and I'll refine the healing elixir for you." After saying that, he took out the fire control array disc and the alchemy furnace, and refined another furnace of healing elixirs. This time he refined 2 low-grade Xian-level elixirs and 8 top-grade Huang-level elixirs. He kept half for himself and gave the remaining half to the woman. My name is Lin Shuiying, and I am an inner disciple of Xingwu Academy. What is my benefactor's name? That when the woman saw that Yi Luyun could make elixirs and saved her own life, she developed a good impression of him and no longer had any suspicion. After taking the elixir, he took the initiative to introduce himself. Yi Luyun. He only said his name and did not dare to tell his family for fear of causing trouble to the family. The Xingwu Academy can cultivate disciples at the 3rd level of true energy, which is enough to show that this academy is much stronger than the Yi family. Then he asked again, you said that in Xingwu Academy, all the inner disciples are in the true Yuan realm. No. Lin Shuiying explained with some embarrassment, the outer sect disciples of our college must at least reach the sea-forming realm. I was accepted as a disciple by the elders since I was a child, so I entered the inner sect to practice in advance. When Yi Luyun heard this, he was even more surprised. The outer disciples are all in the sea transformation realm. He couldn't even imagine how powerful that holy martial academy was. It's not like just a random disciple can destroy Fengyang City. At this time, Liang Shui also completely refined the golden fruit and jumped out from the bottom of the water. Lin Shuiying was startled and thought it was a black python coming out. But it was strange to see a beautiful woman. Liang Shui was also surprised when she saw her. Seeing her disheveled appearance, she looked at Yi Luyun in confusion. Yi Luyun explained to her and introduced them. Liang Shui came out at the right time. It would be much more convenient for her to take care of Lin Shuiying. Yi Luyun found a hidden cliff and dug a cave for a few people to live in. There is a black python underwater. Let's get out of here quickly. Lin Shuiying said to the 2 of them. That black python is my pet. You injured him, and I haven't settled the score with you yet. Yi Luyun made it up smoothly. Ah. We really didn't know that the black python had an owner. I will compensate you. But since you raised the black python, what about the medicinal materials? Lin Shuiying asked. Of course all the medicinal materials are mine. What? You still want to snatch the medicinal materials? Yi Luyun stopped what he was doing, a little worried that if he failed to save people, he would cause trouble. Lin Shuiying is at the 3rd level of true energy, and Liang Shui's actual combat ability may not be her match. No. Can you give me a gold yuan fruit? I use it to save people. I can pay you. Lin Shuiying sensed Yi Luyun's concerns and explained quickly. Jin Yuan Guo. Yi Luyun didn't know that this golden fruit was Jin Yuan Guo. Lin Shuiying explained to him and then said, my master was seriously injured. The alchemist said that the energy of Jin Yuan Guo is needed to open up the blocked meridians. I only brought 20,000 medium-grade crystal stones, can I give them all to you? Lin Shuiying said almost pleadingly. 20,000 mid-grade crystal stones. Yi Luyun repeated subconsciously, feeling a little confused. Yi Luyun didn't expect that this Jin Yuan Guo could be sold for 20,000 medium-grade crystal stones, 20,000 mid-grade crystals. He had never heard of such a huge amount of money before. This disciple of Xingwu Academy seems to be very rich. Lin Shuiying thought he was too little, so she took off her storage ring and took out everything inside. You can pick whatever you want in here. You can take it all, including this ring. Please, give me one. Master is waiting for it to heal. Medium-grade crystals, a top-grade Xian-grade sword, several high-grade Xian-grade swords, several medicinal materials and high-grade Xian-grade elixirs, 2 exercises, and some clothes, sundries, etc. Yi Luyun and Liang Shui were shocked when they looked at the things she took out. This girl is not old, but she is really rich. I'm afraid her status in Xingwu Academy is not simple either. Chapter 27 Heavenly Level Cultivation Technique. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Any of these things in Lin Shuiying's storage ring would cause a sensation in Fengyang City if she took them out. However, Yi Luyun was not interested in these things. Instead, he picked up the 2 exercises and looked through them. One is Heaven Cutting Finger, a mid-level earth-level skill, and the other is Phantomite Technique, a top-level heaven-level skill. Yi Luoyun's eyes suddenly lit up. Seeing his expression, Lin Shuiying was a little anxious, because he felt that Yi Luoyun couldn't practice those two skills at all. She reminded, "I'm afraid you won't be able to practice these two techniques. The Phantomite Technique is a side technique that can only be practiced by those who specialize in cultivating the soul. It requires a strong soul as the foundation. And this heavenly finger requires only those with strong physical bodies can practice, otherwise their fingers will become useless." When Yi Luoyun heard this, he realized that this was just the right technique for him. He meets all the conditions. It's true that good people are rewarded. So he asked, "Are these two techniques yours?" Lin Shuiying shook her head. The Phantomite Technique was collected by the master, and he couldn't practice it himself. After I stole it, I realized that I really couldn't practice it, and I haven't returned it yet. That heaven-cutting finger is that of Jin Wuyo. I just borrowed it to look at and learn from it. He knew I couldn't practice, so he lent it to me. Yi Luoyun thought for a while and said, "Well, I can give you a gold yuan fruit, but I don't want your spar. As long as you lend me these two exercises for 3 days, I will return them to you after 3 days. How?" Lin Shuiying and Liang Shui were both surprised when they heard this. Lin Shuiying immediately said, "This is such a disadvantage for you. How can I feel so good about it? Just because you saved me, I will let you see it." Liang Shui almost fainted after hearing this. These two guys, how come one is more real than the other? Don't you know how to bargain? But this matter had nothing to do with her, and it was hard for her to interrupt, so she could only worry about it. However, she felt that Yi Luoyun did not take advantage of others, nor was he tempted by profit, and she admired him even more. "Listen to me, it's settled." After saying that, he put away the technique, gave the golden yuan fruit to Lin Shuiying, and then continued to dig the cave. Lin Shuiying got the golden yuan gua, so she was naturally very grateful to him. This time there were 3 people to live in, so Yi Luoyun dug the cave larger. He also dug a large rock that could block the entrance of the cave. After digging, he cleaned up all the gravel and traces. Then, all 3 moved into the cave. He sealed the entrance of the cave with a big stone to avoid being discovered by the guards of the city lord's mansion and Jin Wuyo's people. After entering, Liang Shui continued to consolidate her realm. Lin Shuiying recovered from her injuries, and he took out the 2 skills. With his current spirit, he can memorize all the techniques in a short time. The reason why he said 3 days was because he didn't want others to know. It was pitch dark in the cave. He memorized all the techniques with his spiritual consciousness, then put away the techniques and started practicing. These 2 skills were indeed much more complicated than the previous ones. It took him a whole day to get started. It's just that the heaven-cutting finger is still unable to exert its power, mainly because the immortal hegemony is not strong enough. If you want to use this heavenly finger to hurt someone, you must at least cultivate the immortal hegemony to the 2nd level. But he can use the phantom pupil technique. The phantom pupil technique can not only use the soul to create illusions, making people confused, but also can break through illusions, and it can also make the eyesight see further and be more penetrating. Now, it was pitch black inside the cave, but he could see the 2 of them with just his eyes without using his spiritual consciousness, completely ignoring the obstruction of darkness. And he can also create some simple illusions. It's just that it's useless for people with high realms, and they still need to look into his eyes. 3 days later, Lin Shuiying received the message from the telegraph. "Brother Yi, I received a message from the transmission note. Senior brothers from our college have arrived. They will take me back. Also, Jin Wuyo is not dead, but he is already a useless person. Our senior brother also found the 3 guards in black and took care of them. You can go out without worries." Lin Shuiying also learned in the past few days that Yi Luoyun and the others were being hunted by men in black, so Yi Luoyun deliberately pretended to be a man in black and attacked Jin Wuyo, but did not kill him, so Yi Luoyun returned the skills to Lin Shuiying as promised. He opened the cave door again and sent her out. Lin Shuiying has recovered a lot and is in a hurry to send the medicinal materials back to the master, so she can't keep them longer. Take care. Yi Luyun said goodbye to Lin Shuiying with a fist in his arms. Lin Shuiying thought for a while and handed a token to Yi Luyun. Brother Yi, this is the token of Xingwu Academy. If you have the opportunity to come to Xingwu Academy in the future, come to me with this token. That she chatted with Liang Shui these days and learned a lot about Yi Luyun. She felt that with Yi Luyun's talent, he might actually be able to go to the Holy Martial Academy. Yi Luyun accepted the token. Well, if I leave Fengyang, I will definitely come to find you. Yi Luyun and Liang Shui waved goodbye to her together. Lin Shuiying turned back 3 times in one step and left reluctantly. Having spent time together these days, he had a very good impression of Yi Luyun and Liang Shui. It's a pity that she has to rush back to save the master. Otherwise, she really wanted to stay and take risks with Yi Luyun and Liang Shui. After sending Lin Shuiying away, Liang Shui asked, "Have you learned those 2 techniques?" "Of course." Yi Luyun smiled. "Actually, even if you take away everything in her ring, she will give it to you." Liang Shui sighed. "I think it's worth it to exchange for 2 skills. There's no need to be so greedy. If I really did that, why would she give me this?" Yi Luyun shook the token in his hand. "I saved her, and she helped us solve the pursuit of the guards. I gave her the golden yuan fruit, and she gave me the skills. I'm not greedy for money," and she left the token. This is the cause and effect of good fate. Liang Shui nodded deeply after hearing this. After a while, Liang Shui smiled and said, "Okay. Good man, what should we do now?" "Sweep the surrounding battlefields. Let's go." As he said that, he took the lead and ran in one direction. "Hey! Slow down. Do you know the way?" Liang Shui hurriedly followed and shouted behind. In the next few days, they swept all the surrounding beasts and looted a lot of medicinal materials. Although Liang Shui's actual combat ability is not strong, he is a martial artist of the 4th level of Xinyuan. With the cooperation of Yi Luyun, everything went smoothly for them. After a few days of fighting, Yi Luyun took the skills one step further. His coarse cloth clothes were also completely torn into strips. But he didn't prepare any clothes. He didn't want to wear the clothes of the dead guards, which made him feel uncomfortable, so he simply fought the beast with his bare chest. Looking at her strong muscles and sturdy body, Liang Shui couldn't help but blush and often lost her mind. After the black python recovered from its injuries, Yi Luyun threw the bodies of several guards to it as food. Then he made the black python smaller and wrapped it around his arm. Yi Luyun held a knife in his right hand, wrapped the black python with his left arm, and was bare-chested, looking very manly. Liang Shui stole a few glances from time to time, and her mind was full of imagination. They didn't continue to go deep into the Henglin Mountains. According to the black python, there are more terrifying existences in the depths of the dense forest. So they just wandered in the area of the 1st-level beasts of Xinyuan, mainly to practice with Yi Luyun. Chapter 28 Mercenary Robbery. You are listening at novelfull.audio. For many days in a row, they hunted many ferocious beasts and obtained many beast cores. //ncom.Yi Luyun also opened up another meridian, at the 7th level of body refining. For meridians have been opened, so fighting at the 9th level of body refining is no problem. Before finally leaving, Yi Luyun and the others worked together to kill several ferocious beasts at the 4th level of true essence, collected enough beast blood, and then evacuated to the outside of the Henglin Mountains with satisfaction. But as soon as they reached the outskirts of the mountain range, Yi Luyun felt that something was wrong in the atmosphere. It's so quiet. It seems that all the ferocious beasts have been eliminated. Black Python, shrink your body and go to the front to take a look. Don't be exposed. After all, Yi Luyun's consciousness couldn't reach too far, so he asked the Black Python to explore the way. Not long after, the Black Python came back. Sure enough, there are several groups of mercenaries ambushing us in front. Yi Luyun also told Liang Shui the information about the Black Python being brought back. Then let's take a detour. Liang Shui was also a little nervous. No need, their strongest strength is only 2 3rd-level true essences. Since they are here to train us, how can we miss it? Yi Luyuan smiled slightly, and then made arrangements. Black Python deals with the second and third levels of True Yuan. Sister Liang, you deal with the first level of True Yuan and the ninth level of body refining, and leave the rest to me. So the three of them walked openly into each other's circle. Ha ha ha. The two mercenary leaders of the third level of Xianxia laughed and blocked the way. The mercenaries lying in ambush around him also appeared one after another, but when they saw Yi Luyuan, they didn't panic, which surprised them. You two brats are pretending to be calm, but it's a pity that your death is imminent. Do you know who I am? You want to kill me? Liang Shui shouted. Of course I know. But so what? Our Green Wolf mercenary group also has a back end. A mercenary leader shouted. It turns out to be the Green Wolf mercenary group. As far as I know, you are the dogs raised by the city lord's mansion, right? Liang Shui said coldly. Third brother, talking is useless, just take action. The other person was much more steady than him. Don't worry, second brother, no one will come to save them in such deep mountains and forests. However, he still ordered his men to take action together. Yi Luyuan took out a sledgehammer and started smashing them. Liang Shui also followed the previous division of labor and attacked those at the first level of True Essence and the ninth level of body refining. The two leaders of the third level of True Essence were just about to take action when suddenly a huge black python jumped down from the tree, bit one of them, and smashed its tail on the other. Ah! Screamed. The mercenary leader who had been shouting just now was bitten in two by the black python. The other person was also swept by the black python and fell to the ground vomiting blood. The black python succeeded in the sneak attack and continued to rush towards several second-level True Essence mercenaries among the mercenaries. Boss, this woman is at the fourth level of True Energy. The information is wrong. Escape quickly. A mercenary who originally besieged Liang Shui shouted loudly while running towards the mercenary leader. Don't let anyone go. Yi Luyuan informed Black Python and Liang Shui. He swung the sledgehammer away, and the mercenaries couldn't get close to him at all. Instead, they were knocked around by him. Liang Shui also struck with one sword at a time, showing no mercy. The black python was even more rude, beating and eating him. How could this happen? The injured mercenary leader was a little confused. How come Liang Shui is at the fourth level of True Energy? Where did that black python come from? Everything went beyond their plans. Disperse and retreat. He knew that his side was defeated, and he just wanted more people to survive. If Liang Shui alone is weak, they still have hope of fighting, but if there is a black python, they will definitely die. The strength of the fourth level of True Essence cannot be made up for by their numbers. Unexpectedly, the black python rushed towards him first. He was no match for the black python, and he was seriously injured by the black python's sneak attack. He had almost no resistance and was directly swallowed by the black python. After that, the black python used its huge body to circle most of the mercenaries. The gap left was also blocked by Liang Shui and Yi Luyuan. Nearly 50 mercenaries were wiped out by them in a quarter of an hour. While Yi Luyuan was plundering their belongings, he smiled and said, "Aren't you here to kill us?" Afterwards, he collected all the corpses. Liang Shui was dumbfounded and asked, "I won't say anything if you search for property, but why are you taking away the body as well? Save it as food for the black python. Otherwise, what will it eat in the future? With such a big body, where can I find so much food for it?" After looking at the huge body of the black python, Liang Shui stopped talking. This guy is really a good helper in fighting, but he's also very good at eating. I just swallowed 7 or 8 people, and my stomach is no longer bulging. After that, they met several scattered mercenary teams, but after seeing Liang Shui's fourth level of True Essence, no one dared to come and try to attack them. Why didn't we see so many mercenaries when we came in? Yi Luyuan asked curiously. These mercenaries are similar to robbers. When someone enters the mountain, they will not stop them. When they come out, they will rob us. They saw that I am at the fourth level of True Energy, so they did not rob us. Liang Snow said. Don't mercenaries make money by doing tasks? Why do they specialize in robbery? What's the difference between the robbers? Yi Luyun became even more curious. It's so dangerous to do missions. If you stay here, you can make money without any effort. In fact, they are no different from robbers. They just do missions occasionally. Liang Shui explained. If that's the case, then when we rob them, it can be considered as eliminating harm for the people? Yi Luyun asked Liang Shui with a smile. Liang Shui thought for a while and looked at Yi Luyun with a smile. With the black python here, they have nothing to worry about. Next, the nearby mercenary group was in trouble. Anyone who encounters Yi Luyun and the others and does not hand over their belongings will be severely beaten. News spreads quickly. For a time, all the mercenary groups in this area knew that there were 2 robbers in the mountains, specifically to rob them, so they all left to avoid the limelight and did not dare to come out again. Yi Luyun and the others also discovered that all the nearby mercenary groups had fled, so they had no choice but to return to Fengyang City from the Henglin Mountains. Along the way, they were still sightseeing. Yi Luyun and Liang Shui also began to compete in cooking skills: how long to roast the meat, how long to use the heat, how long to cook the meat, and how to combine it to make it delicious. Yi Luyun has studied them very thoroughly, so in the end Liang Shui was completely defeated. Before returning to Fengyang City, Yi Luyun put the black python into his storage ring, leaving Liang Shui stunned. The storage ring still has this function. Can it also hold living things? Of course, if you want this function, just find the boundary-breaking stone. I can also help you tame a ferocious beast for free. Yi Luyun said. It's a deal. Liang Shui made the decision immediately. After the 2 of them entered the city, they did not separate, but went directly to Wanbao Pavilion. When they arrived at Wanbao Pavilion, Yi Luyun took out all the ferocious beasts he had harvested and gave half of them to Liang Shui. He also had to take out the medicinal materials and divide them. But she was rejected by Liang Shui. She didn't expect Yi Luyun to be so generous and want to give her half of everything. She made no contribution at all. Yi Luyun had already given her a golden yuan fruit to raise her level to the 4th level of true yuan, which was enough, that is the transition from the early stage to the middle stage of Xianyuan. Many people cannot get over this hurdle in 1 or 2 years, but Yi Luyun thought that since they were going together, the things should of course be divided equally. In the end, it was Liang Shui who said, "You can keep the medicinal materials for making elixirs. If you give them to me, you just need to exchange them for some crystal stones, which is meaningless." Yi Luyun then left the medicinal materials. Chapter 29 Rapid Progress. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Before Yi Luyun left Wanbao Pavilion, he was stopped by Liang Shui. 520 official website. Are you planning to go back to Ye's house naked like this? Yi Luyun was stunned for a moment, and then he laughed. He had gotten used to not wearing any clothes in the last few days. Liang Shui personally went to pick out some sets of clothes for him and handed them to him. Put it on and try it. This kind of clothes is not suitable for martial arts training. I can wear coarse cloth. Yi Luyun quickly shook his head and refused. What he was thinking was that he fought often and no matter how good his clothes were, they would be useless after a battle. No. I gave it to you, and you must wear it. If you wear coarse clothes, it will be particularly eye-catching and make others think you are trying to gain fame. Liang Shui got to know him very well through these days of contact, and she immediately caught Yi Luyun's weakness. He knew that Yi Luyun was not the kind of person who wanted to be in the limelight. Okay then. I'll just wear it. Yi Luyun thought it was right, so he took a set of white clothes and put them on, and put away the other clothes. After he put it on, he did look much more handsome. Even Yuer's eyes lit up when she saw it, and she couldn't stop praising her. Seeing Liang Shui's admiring eyes, Yi Luyun felt a little embarrassed, so he quickly made an excuse, slipped out of Wanbao Pavilion, and returned to Ye's house. As soon as he entered the Qi Hall, the first thing he did was to find Feng Wanru and tell him about his experiences these days. He also took out his harvest and let her choose as she pleased. Feng Wanru didn't even look at him. Instead, she looked at him repeatedly and meaningfully. You brat, you have grown up. You already know how to dress up. Have you fallen in love with that Liang Shui? Yi Luyun was stunned for a moment, and defended with a red face. how can I? I'm just wearing coarse cloth, but it's very conspicuous, so I changed into this kind of clothes. If you don't like it, I'll just change it. Feng Wanru felt better after hearing what he said. He said, don't change it, it looks quite pleasing to the eye. Let's wear it like this from now on. Then I'll grill you some meat, shall I? Let you have a taste of my craftsmanship. As he said that, he took out his dagger and started to unload the meat. He also took out the formation plate and the alchemy furnace to stew a pot of meat. Roast while simmering, when he returned home, he naturally found some seasonings and the meat became more fragrant. Feng Wanru was full of praise after eating it. In the following days, except for occasionally grilling Feng Wanru, he concentrated on practicing. All techniques are advancing by leaps and bounds. In particular, the bloodline pills made from medicinal materials such as bloodline grass and thousand-year-old blood spirit fruit have awakened his bloodline a little more, and his physical fitness, soul, and combat power have all improved a lot. Moreover, he refined more than 30 bloodline pills together. It was enough to consume him for a while. After that, he used animal blood and some medicinal materials to refine his body and broke through the second level of the immortal hegemonic body. Not only is the skin and flesh stronger, but the muscles, bones, and internal organs are also much stronger. Less than 10 days after returning, the 6th meridian in his body was also opened by him, but he suppressed his realm and didn't want to break through so quickly. And during this period, he didn't take Guyuan pill anymore. The focus of this period of time was on the cultivation of various techniques. Every day and night, he fought against the metal puppet for 3 hours. Don't stop until you are exhausted. Then he took the condensing pill and soaked in the animal blood liquid for body refining to naturally restore his physical strength. While practicing, he also took time to sort out the results of his practice during this period. Through Xianxia cultivation, he has opened up 6 meridians and reached the 7th level of body refining, indestructible hegemonic body, cultivate to the 2nd level. With the cultivation of his soul, he can now use his soul to detect a range of 500 meters. And he is honing the spiritual consciousness responsible for the attack into the shape of a sword. Not only toughness, but also hardness. Linkhongju, after practicing it to great perfection, is still some distance away from perfection. The main reason is that his understanding of space is still very superficial. The Phantom Eye technique has reached a small level of success. If the vision is not obstructed, one can see 20 miles away and see the night as day. Moreover, by looking at each other, the opponent can be stunned for 5 breaths. Jia Tian finger, because he broke through the 2nd level of the immortal hegemony, the finger's endurance has become stronger. Although he has only cultivated to Deshang, the power of one finger is more powerful than Yi Tianxi's cold light finger. He has now practiced the thunder fist to a state that is close to perfection, but due to the lack of thunder and lightning power, it is difficult to make further progress. Star Reacher, he has cultivated to a state of perfection. But he only focused on practicing the Star Picker move. Although there is only one move, its power against the enemy is just as powerful as Yi Tianxi's cold light finger. In the Overlord sword technique, he has perfected the 3 moves of drawing the sword, opening the sky, and crossing the sky. But the following content was missing, and he couldn't continue practicing. I have to say that he has practiced so many things. Fortunately, the 2 techniques, Ba Dao Ju and Star Reaching Hand, do not require him to spend much energy in the future. He just needs to continue to hone and improve during battles. Thunder Fist only requires him to absorb more thunder and lightning power. The power of the Jietian finger is limited by the progress of the immortal hegemony body's cultivation. It requires body refining materials, so there is no rush. The most urgent task is to strengthen the cultivation of the soul, improve the volley technique and phantom pupil technique, and absorb the power of thunder and lightning. At the same time, the focus of qi refining is changed to condensing true qi, rather than blindly seeking more. Thinking of this, he decided to reduce the time he spent fighting the puppets. And even in battles, his focus is on refining his moves and executing moves with both hands at the same time. His soul is powerful, and it is very possible to use different moves with both hands at the same time. This is also mentioned in Dian Shinshu. After this sorting out, he found that he had a clearer understanding of his various skills. I will also have a direction for my future cultivation. On this day, he was sparring with the puppets, and suddenly a deacon came to his door, saying that he was summoned by the clan leader and asked him to go to the main hall of the meeting hall immediately, so he hurriedly put on his clothes and hurried to the meeting hall. He usually spars with the puppets, always shirtless, so as not to ruin his clothes. In the main hall, 8 disciples including Xianxia and Mingzhen were already waiting. He was the last to arrive. As soon as he arrived, the clan leader began to make announcements. 7 days later, there will be the annual Fengyang City Martial Arts Competition. This martial arts competition is actually a time for the 3 major families to show their strength. Whichever family has stronger descendants will mean which family has a better future. Therefore, the forces of each family will be redivided based on the results of this martial arts competition. The family decided to send some of you to participate in this family competition. Yi Qingyun will also return from Tianyun Palace to represent his family in the competition. It is said that he has reached the 2nd level of true essence. I hope you can fight for more benefits for your family. Yes. They agreed in unison. With a 2nd level master like Yi Qingyun leading them, they will definitely have no problem winning the championship this time. After that, the clan leader kept Yi Luyun, Yi Qianxi, and Yi Mingzhen behind. Lu Yun, why didn't you move to the inner palace to practice? The environment in the inner palace is better. The clan leader asked with concern. Clan leader Hui, I'm used to staying in the Qi Hall, and I don't want to change places. And I won't delay my cultivation if I stay in the Qi Hall. The clan leader nodded and no longer forced him. Instead, he said to the 3 of them. Your realm is much worse than Yi Qingyun. Before the martial arts competition, do you still have any training problems? Or do you need any support? Chapter 30 Understanding the Intent of the Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Tianxi and Yi Mingzhen are both veteran disciples of the inner palace, and their resources are usually sufficient, so there is nothing they need. 520 Official website .in Terms of cultivation, there are special elders who serve as teachers for them, so there are no questions to ask. Therefore, Yi Luyun took the initiative and said, Clan leader, I want to strengthen my understanding of the power of space and improve my practice of the volley technique. I also need to further improve my sword skills. The clan's low-grade Xianxia Bao Dao technique only has 3 moves. I have already practiced it. The following is I don't know what to practice anymore. Oh. Show me these 2 techniques and let me see. The clan leader became interested and asked him to demonstrate to see how far he had practiced, so Yi Luyun first practiced the volley technique, and then practiced the 3 moves of the Ba Dao technique. After meeting, the patriarch had a smile in his eyes and kept nodding. Yi Tianxi and Yi Mingzhen also looked at him like a monster. It's only been about 20 days since the clan competition ended, right? I didn't expect you to practice these 2 sets of Xianxia techniques to such an extent. Especially the volleying technique, no one in the clan has ever practiced it to your level. The clan leader praised him without hesitation. I remember you also chose Star Reacher and Thunder Fist, right? Yi Luyun was shocked when he heard this. No. I spilled the beans and actually revealed the matter of practicing the volley technique. However, looking at the clan leader's expression, he didn't seem to care that he had practiced an extra skill, so he let out a sigh of relief in his heart. Yes. These 2 techniques are also close to the state of perfection. Hearing this, Yi Tianxi and Yi Mingzhen became even more uneasy. But the clan leader laughed loudly and applauded. Okay. What a genius in cultivation. It just so happens that I can help you with the 2 questions you asked. If you ask anything else, I really can't help you. Come with me, I'll take you their place. So Yi Tianxi and Yi Mingzhen went back to practice, and the clan leader took Yi Luyun to the Yi family ancestral temple. After entering, the clan leader bowed deeply to the old man guarding the ancestral temple. Ancestor, this little guy's name is Yi Luyun, and he is number 1 in this year's clan competition. I want him to see the intention of the sword, and I'm going to trouble you. That the old man looked at Yi Luyun, and his cloudy eyes suddenly became clear and sharp, which shocked Yi Luyun. Just looking at this person made Yi Luyun feel as if he had been stabbed by a sword. and the hair on his body stood on end. The 10,000 gods' order in his consciousness he immediately resolved this fierce pressure. Otherwise, Yi Luyun would have difficulty breathing. What a sharp gaze! Is this my ancestor of the Yi family? Is this realm at least the 5th level of true energy? He thought to himself. Then he respectfully called Ancestor. The ancestor felt that his sharp aura was being neutralized, and he couldn't help but be surprised. He looked away and praised, "What an amazing little guy. Our Yi family is very happy." That when the clan leader heard this, the smile on his face became even brighter. Yi Luyun is definitely the first person who can be rated as awesome by his ancestors. Little guy, come with me. As he said that, he took Yi Luyun and walked deep into the ancestral temple. The patriarch followed respectfully at the end. Arriving at the back hall of the ancestral temple, the ancestor pointed at a painting and said, "I will use my true energy to open this painting later. You can watch it carefully and understand the artistic conception. How much you can understand depends on your luck. One must cherish this opportunity." "Thank you, ancestor." Yi Luyun bowed and thanked. Yi Luyun looked at the painting. There was only a knife on it, standing in the air, with the tip of the knife rushing down. There was nothing strange about it, but when the ancestor input his true energy, Yi Luyun felt his soul being pulled and pulled into the painting. In the painting, there is still only one knife, but that knife stands between heaven and earth as if it actually exists. Just the power exuded by that knife can cut people into powder. Yi Luyun was shocked. He had never thought before that a knife could have such a strong artistic conception. He looked at it as if he was hallucinating and saw an illusory figure demonstrating sword skills. When he looked at the set of sword skills carefully, Yi Luyun almost screamed. "Isn't this the Ba Dao Ju? Is there a complete set of Ba Dao Ju's moves here?" He didn't dare to be distracted at the moment, for fear of missing anything. The soul tried its best to memorize every movement. The phantom has been repeatedly demonstrating the saber technique. After several times, Yi Luyun completely remembered it. Next, he began to carefully understand the artistic conception of the sword technique. I saw that every time Su Ying slashed out, he carried an extremely domineering and scornful general trend. With this artistic conception, it would be effortless not to mention splitting a person, splitting a mountain, or even splitting the world. Gradually, Yi Luyun felt that this was a kind of indomitable and invincible domineering power. With one strike, no one can stop it and everything can be destroyed. With one strike of the sword, everyone in heaven is afraid, and gods and ghosts give way. With one sword strike, I am invincible. I am invincible. This is the true meaning of Ba Dao Ju. When the sword is drawn, the person's will is the will of the sword. People are swords, and swords are people. Man and knife unite. This is the realm of Ba Dao Ju. Tyrant sword means domineering. This is the artistic conception of this set of sword techniques. As Yi Luyun's understanding deepened, he also exuded this domineering mood, and it's getting more and more fierce and powerful. The ancestor nodded excitedly in approval. Okay. 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 This is the real genius. Then he told the clan leader, Yuanji, you must protect this child. Do your best to train him. This Yi Luyun is much better than the Yi Qingyun who went to Tianyun Palace. You don't have to count on that disciple, he is not even as good as Xianxia. Yes. Yuanji will remember the teachings of the ancestor. The clan leader was so excited that he bowed and agreed. After about an hour, the ancestor withdrew his true energy. Yi Luyun felt like he had been in a few days and was particularly tired. How do you feel? The ancestor asked with a smile. Thank you for your cultivation. The disciple has found the direction. That the ancestor nodded continuously after hearing this. Yi Luyun said the word direction instead of describing the artistic conception, which is enough to show that he has a longer-term vision and does not only look at the present. Go. If you have any unsolvable problems in the future, you can come to me directly. The ancestor said. Yes. Disciple will leave. Yi Luyun bowed respectfully to the ancestor and left the ancestral temple with the clan leader. After leaving the ancestral temple, the clan leader said to Yi Luyun, you are the first person to be praised by the ancestor for being powerful in 100 years. He was also the first person who burst out with amazing sword intent after seeing the picture. He was also the first person that the ancestor said that if there were any problems that could not be solved, he could go directly to him. Yi Luyun was also shocked when he heard it. I thought the ancestor was just talking casually. The ancestor never talks casually. If it were someone else, the ancestor would not say a word. The patriarch was getting excited as he spoke. Then, the patriarch took Yi Luyun to the Yi family treasure house and asked Yi Luyun to wait outside. Not long after, he took out a stone and handed it to Yi Luyun. This is the Wukong stone. Holding it can help you feel the power of space. This is a treasure that the family has treasured for many years. Even the elders are not qualified to use it. Now I give it to you. I hope you will not disappoint the family's expectations of you. Thank you for your trust and support, Patriarch. I will definitely not disappoint the family's expectations. Yi Luyun did not expect the Patriarch to have such high expectations of him, and he was a little excited.